Hello, my friends. So, welcome to Wellness Wednesdays with Wedaad. And if you're listening live or catching the replay, then you want to continue listening because today we're talking about creative movement and joyful dancing as medicine for your body, mind, heart, and soul. So, if you're finding it hard today, maybe you're having a difficult day, maybe you've got a lot on your plate and you just want to, improve your energy and improve your mood a little bit, then continue listening, continue tuning in as we do a live demonstration of creative movement. So with me today, I have my wonderful, wonderful guest speaker, Maya Kooverjee. So Maya is married for 31 years and, with 3 adult children already. And when her daughters began high school, she decided to study specialized kinesiology with the International College of Professional Kinesiology Practice. She's also a level 2 Reiki practitioner and have done various crystal healing modalities, including crystal surgery. And recently, she has been practicing creative movement called Surtaal. Hello and welcome, Maya.
Hi, Wedaad. Yes, it's so wonderful to be here. And thank you for having me. This is so exciting.
I know this is, I've just started my Wellness Wednesdays, and I thought, I want to share as much about health and wellness as I can and have expert speakers come on and we'll talk about a topic regarding, your health and how to improve your wellness and anything health and wellness really. And I thought this was an excellent topic because when I heard you doing this creative movement, I've sort of started on my own before I even heard about you. I've been practicing and experimenting with this myself, and I have found it so almost like a self-care that I haven't experienced before. So I'm so excited to talk about this today. So, I met Maya a few years ago at a health fair. And then later in 2021, I actually went to see Maya when I was feeling stuck with a big life decision and wanted some help with kinesiology because I didn't know what it was all about. But you know what? I left there feeling crystal clear about what I needed to do. So thank you, Maya, for that wonderful session I had with you.
That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that it was beneficial because we often don't get feedback, as practitioners, and then you speak to somebody just by the way, very, very like months ahead of, a lot, I'm fumbling here, but anyway, you meet up with people much later, and then you say, you wonder how they've been in the meantime. Just one session does something so profound in their way of being or their way of thinking. And yeah, specialized kinesiology is very close to my heart because it's helped me a lot.
Yeah,
So,
and maybe just on that, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a kinesiologist and some of the other modalities you practice.
Yeah, I think it's sure, when I think about this, then I get little nuggets of, oh, that's why I did that, and that's why I did this. So I know that my kids have been brought up with homeopathic medicine. So there's this alternate therapy has always been running through my life. I was introduced to homeopathy by an uncle in my teens. And that was the time when people didn't know about alternate therapy or natural therapy. So I think that's where it grew, and then I was introduced to Reiki, I think when my daughter was struggling with a little bit of health issues. She had candida, and that was brought on through birth and so forth. And that's how Reiki happened. And I had my first attunement, and then life happened. So I just forgot about it. But now and again, I'd bring it on and do a little Reiki on myself. So moving many years later, I think when my children started, I was involved in the dance fraternity with Indian dance and so forth. And that was fulfilling me to a point, because it was movement. But again, your old beliefs of whether I'm good enough, or it doesn't feel like I should be there, and I don't know how I look, and all these negative thought patterns that just step you back. But I was there encouraging my daughter doing dancing, and then I became involved in the dance school and so forth. And then came a time where I just felt like I couldn't do this anymore. I needed to step away from that, because also it wasn't fulfilling me soulfully, and I felt I needed to find something to do for myself, and thus began my specialized kinesiology session. I remember being part of the dance school, and at the end of each year I would say, I need to do something else, I need to do something else. And the minute I made the decision to leave, this came about. I had no clue as to what specialized kinesiology was about. It was introduced to me via a doctor, my homeopathic doctor. And I said, this sounds interesting. Let me just explore. And lo and behold, I spoke to the facilitator who was starting a course, and I just jumped right in, not knowing what to expect. I later realized that it was really for my own healing, because so much came up through the process, when you're studying, you're practicing on each other. And for those who don't know what specialized kinesiology is, it's a biofeedback modality. So you would use muscle testing to for your body to feed back. I always use the process of a computer programmer and you being the computer, so you giving me information and then I program information back into you. So there's that kind of conversation happening. And yeah, that is where my story began. And like you say, you've experienced wonderful results from that.
Yes, I had no idea one's body and muscles can actually give you feedback as to how you're feeling. And I just found it so interesting.
The thing is, what we do realize, sorry, Wedaad, is also the body never lies. The body holds so much of information without us realizing that. So you have meridians or energy lines that run through your body. Each meridian is associated with a particular organ, which is associated then with emotions that we hold. And, thus with anything that we encounter, we either hold onto emotions or we discard them because, we're not allowed to feel them or not allowed to acknowledge them. You're not allowed to feel sad, or you're not allowed to, you must be happy all the time. And anxiety, where does anxiety come from? So you explore all these things in the session. And while that is happening, whatever technique I'm feeding back into your body to allow the healing process, what we do forget is that our bodies have that innate ability to heal itself. We just need a little bit of a push and a shove.
Absolutely.
So, the blockages are there, and how do we unblock this tap that needs to run freely and flowingly?
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. Learning about our bodies and how it works, and we just need to provide the environment for the body to heal itself, right? And that's also what I'm so passionate about when I'm helping my clients. But today we're talking about creative movement. So tell us more about your new sort of Surtaal practice and how that came about?
That's a big deep breath I took in there, because I think it's quite a reality shock in that I never expected that this is what I would be doing. I don't know the longevity of it, but for me it is now. It's what I am embracing. Like I said, I have Indian dance background. So, with Indian dance, we use all parts of our body. We use our expression, we use our hands to tell stories. We use all parts of our body. You're moving everything. And I think I came also to a part, where exercise is good. You need to move your body so that you can allow energy to flow as well. And you're releasing stress as well, whether you walking, whether you are gymming, aerobics, or what it is, or even doing yoga is a stress reliever, because it allows energy to flow freely. And with Indian dance, I mean, I know, we learnt it very rigidly. There are steps that you follow. That's the discipline part of Indian dance. And then you also get the folk, which is the folk dance, which is a lot more freer and a lot more collective. So you'd find in the villages they'd be doing dancing as a collective, as a fun activity to gather women around and children around, and it would be healing as much as it is fun and active. But what I felt here was, I think, as life happens, we become so disconnected with our bodies. We're just doing, and we're so much in our heads about what happened yesterday and what is going to happen tomorrow. And you're not here, you're not being in the present moment. And I find when we connect with our bodies, you connect with mind and you connect with soul, particularly. Your mind then becomes quieter because you allow your mind to center, and you center yourself within your heart when you are conscious of movement.
Yes.
We take our bodies for granted, and the minute there's even a small little cut on our finger, how irritated we become when that is hindering holding something, and I've learned, I think, any little discomfort or little pain, I will acknowledge and say, you are teaching me something, you are telling me something. I'll let it be and I'll see what happens, instead of feeling sorry for myself, instead of feeling pity, instead of saying, oh, I need to go and pop a pill to get that, to be rid of that. Because that's just solving that problem, but you're not actually dealing with the root of the issue. Like I say, the body lies.
Yes, 100%. I agree with you there. So, right. So you founded this. How did you come about with the name of Surtaal?
Initially, I wanted to call it Taal, because Taal is another word for rhythm, or it's an Indian word for rhythm. And but Taal, I also found other meanings. Apparently, it's some volcano somewhere. And in Afrikaans, Taal is the word for language.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, I brought that together, thinking that let's erupt the language of rhythm within the soul. And then Sur came from Sur is like melody or beats, so bringing all that together. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with that word, but it just resonated with me right now. And I don't even know if it's a copyright, but anyway, but that is what we use in music. And obviously music helps us to move our bodies. Even if you're going to do an aerobics class, there's music playing. to keep that rhythm within our soul, or keep the rhythm of the body. So yeah, move with rhythm of the
With the
body, move to
rhythm.
the soul even.
Right.
So yeah.
So did you sort of just kind of practice this on yourself? Did you try it out for yourself? I know you're coming from a background in dancing, but how did this kind of develop, this creative movement?
So a lot of contemplation. I think I also meditated on it, and what came out of it for me was earthing music, or well, also playing with the elements, because we have the elements within ourselves. Okay, the 5 elements, if people don't know that, which is fire, earth, space, air, and water. I think I've repeated all of them, but anyway, and so I practiced it. I just put music on and I moved. And as I moved, I felt this is what the music feels like. And this is what, so each music had an element that I connected with. And I think as I did it, I have a beautiful garden, and I felt like this is the place that I wanted to do it in. At first I was looking for a venue, and I thought, no, you know what, let me start in nature. Why not have nature around when you are doing this movement? So I practiced in the garden. I felt like a little child playing in the garden, dancing to music and just moving my body freely. I felt like a little 10-year-old moving to the music. It reminds me of when my daughter used to just be this little fairy, and she'd find a scarf around and be moving around. So it definitely brought in the inner little girl out.
Awesome.
So with the movements, I've incorporated some kinesiology practices. I've incorporated some breathing. I've incorporated gratitude. I've incorporated the elements and movement with the elements. So we would do, if it was an earth song, we would be doing grounding movements. If it was the rain song, we'd be doing water movements, and so forth. So that's how I came to each song. And as women, I just want to add this: as women, we are so conscious of our bodies. It has to be a certain size, and it has to be a certain shape to feel good, and to feel sexy, and to feel like you belong. And we can't all be the same size or the same shape. It's just highly impossible. All 4 of our 5 fingers are not the same. So why do we do that to ourselves? We've been so ingrained by social
Right.
society, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt like this was also one way for me to embrace my body for where it is right now, as much as I am being healthy, but healthy in my mind and everything, and then wanting to share that with others who also feel like they want to just be in their body. And like you say, it's self-care. If we can't give to ourselves, how do we give to others?
Absolutely.
And that's how I came across this.
And so you decided to share, this sort of movement that you found to be so beneficial to your body. So you decided to share it with others, and you started a class. I know you had a couple of classes already. So how did that go? And, are you planning to have any more?
I am. So it's not that regular. I've had 2 so far, one in September and one at the beginning of November, I think. Yes. October happened too fast, and again, November happened too fast. So I hope to have another one in December, just to ease us into the chaotic time that we do live in right now, because everything is busy, and I always feel this energy of craziness. So I'd like to at least have one in December, before we say goodbye to 2022.
You're right.
So yeah, I'm looking at the 11th of December. So please do look out for that. You can follow my page, and then and see and join me and DM me and let me know if you're keen to join.
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to try and make your next class. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my experience. So I found sort of another doctor online through one of my courses that I did, and she was doing some music, or rather joyful movement, joyful dancing, and I would just kind of follow along. She plays the music and I would move along, and I felt very uncomfortable because, like you say, I'm not someone that dances. I'm not someone that feels comfortable moving my body, and I felt like uncomfortable. But luckily I was, in my own space, own home, nobody watching. So I would just kind of start moving freely and to the music, and uncomfortably first, but then afterwards I would tell myself, just let go of all this background noise, this head talk and head space of, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that, no, this is not right. And so I just let go of all that, and I just started moving and listening and being present. And I must say that experience was very, very enlightening. It was interesting. I could feel a shift in energy. I could feel my body tingling. I could feel that sort of almost like a relief, a release. Maybe the negative was released, and I could feel a difference in my mood and my energy. So I'm so excited that you are doing this, because I definitely want to join your next class. And so I will put the details down of how people can contact you. I know your practice is called Mayflower Healing Practice. I will definitely put your details down. So now, how about, would you mind doing a sort of a little demonstration for all who's listening and viewing, of how we can move along and do this creative movement you're talking about?
Yeah. I just want to say, you were talking about the discomfort, and I had one lady who came as well who didn't dance ever, and we had a retreat before. We were on a retreat together, and it was a celebratory retreat, and she also was uncomfortable in movement, but she persevered, and she came to the class. And you can sense when people are not moving, but she said, you know what, it was a good thing for her to move out of her discomfort. And that is what we find, is that when we want to change, but we are so reluctant because we are so comfortable in our comfort zones. And the minute we push ourselves and there's an element of discomfort, we don't push through. But once you push through, like you said,
Yes.
What you find, the benefit is so amazing.
At the other end.
So, at the end. So yes, let me give you a little bit. I just want to, so I do start off my classes with a little bit of gratitude, touching in with every part of our body. And just being conscious of your breath and so forth. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to start off with a little bit of earth music and do a little bit of grounding that I start off with. And then I'm going to go into, so that's the earth element. And then I'm going to go into a water element and just give you what the movements look like. But I'm not going to give you everything because I would like you to come and experience it for yourself. I am also not very rigid about how steps must be or should be. I allow you to feel into the music. You can use my movements as guidance. And then, you know, see where that takes you. And that's the water element, allow things to flow. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Let me just go into and my G. I hope you can hear the music. I can't see myself, and I'm music that I would just touch your feet, touching the ground, feet emphasizing the heart. Feel into the music as you the energy from Mother Earth. Moving up to your feet. Hi, everybody. Not much. It is full. And I Very steady. There's a lot. Okay. So I hope that How did that feel or look?
Oh, that was beautiful. Love the music. The sound was a little
Yes.
bit when you moved away. We couldn't really hear you, but
Oh,
that's
okay.
I could follow in your movements, and the music felt really good. So thank you for that. Did you want to
Good.
show another one?
I'm going to show another one. I'm going to show you a little bit of water.
And then maybe
Yes.
speak a little
Then.
bit louder when you're moving away from the camera.
Oh, okay, I will do that. So the rain, I love this piece of music because it gave me a sense of, I love my showers because I find that the water element just washes away. Often, when we come home from work, we need to go and shower. And are we actually conscious of what the water does for us? All the negative energy that we've collected during the day really just washes that away. And how refreshed do we feel for the evening as we then encounter our evening duties or routine or whatever the case may be. Our morning showers or our morning bath routine is also just letting go of our nighttime negativity or energies. So starting the day afresh, and rainwater is as natural as it can be. We as little children, we would play in the rain and we would enjoy the rainwater and so forth. And so I want this to be a little bit more playful, and I would like us to just picture that, suddenly you are walking and the rain comes, you feel a raindrop, and this raindrop is on your face. And how does that feel? Um, it's so exciting, it's refreshing.
Yes.
Instead of thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get wet. Oh my goodness. I want you to think of it in a positive way, right, Wedaad? So you have this drop on your head and oh my goodness. So it creates a little bit of expression, okay? And you feel this on your face and there's excitement and I want you to just feel this in your body and I want you to move. Pretend there's this water that is falling down on you. So I'm going to do this with a little bit of music. Going to picture water in under. You are under the water. Don't want to give away too much. Yeah, so that's what we do a little bit. That's what, yeah, I don't know if you could see anything.
Yes, that was beautiful. Loved it.
So, and yeah, and then we do a little bit of circle work. I'm not going to tell you too much. You must come. That's just a little bit of a taste. And then I think, yeah, so we also with kinesiology, when we're tapping into our sabotages, we do eye movement. I don't know if I did that with you. I can't remember. So what happens is when we are trying to set in a new affirmation or a new thought process, then we tap into all parts of the brain through eye movement, okay? So that we can set in our visual construct and our memory construct and our audio construct and so forth. Around perhaps a new affirmation. For example, we have a sabotage of, you know, I am not lovable, for example, but we don't realize that it becomes part of our pattern. So there are little aspects in our lives that show us these sabotages, but we don't even realize it because it's so ingrained in our subconscious. You know, our lives have moved on and so on, so forth. So when we do the sabotage clearing in my kinesiology practice, then we do the eye movement. So we do it with our eyes open, and we do clockwise and then anti-clockwise, and then also with our eyes closed and with our eyes closed as well. Yes, because when our eyes are closed, we go into our subconscious, and that, you know, where do we travel when we are sleeping? Doesn't that make sense?
Absolutely.
So one of the movements, then I would incorporate that, and then I'll incorporate the whole body, you know, arms and everything else. So there's a lot of that. There's nothing that is very constructive. So don't be scared about trying this out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone should try this out, and especially if you feel uncomfortable and it's just a nice, simple way to, I think, to connect with your body, your mind, and your soul. Be present, because you have to listen to the music and you have to do the movement. So it's one way to just let go of all the happenings of the day, be present, and then just let go and just enjoy and feel the energy shift. So I hope you guys have tried it out, you know, a little bit of movements that Maya showed us here, and hopefully you could feel a shift. And, you know, if you want to experience the whole thing, I think, yeah, we'll look out for your next class, Maya, and I would encourage everyone to join a class. If you're in South Africa, if you're not, maybe you'll do something online one day for those who can't join you.
I want to also add, Wedaad, I realized the benefit that I received without actually, quite honestly, being conscious of it until I was planning from one class to the next. So I was preparing for my first class through this and working through what I wanted to bring forth and so forth. And when my second class came about, it felt like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, you know, because I felt the benefit and I felt like it moved so much of energy within me. And so I can see myself changing things, and it doesn't mean that you're going to get the same thing for every class. I think for now, my third class will be what I've done for the last two classes, but I may just tweak it a little bit. And music will change as well, because I think, you know, I must be able to feel that so that I can share that with whoever participates.
Right.
So I think, you know, if you feel you've come to one class and maybe, you know, try another class when I have another time. So don't let that deter you. Like you say, you know, push through the discomfort, because it becomes so comfortable and you really do just love your body in all.
And that's what we need to do. And it's, like you say, it's a bit of self-care, right? So this sounds like this is your new self-care practice. So is there anything else you do for your self-care?
So I do have a routine in the morning, which sometimes falters, but I'm okay with that. I've learned to be kind and not to be so hard on myself. Because, you know, even that is doing, sometimes we just need to not do. So I do meditate, I do my yoga, I do go for my facials, I do go for massages. I've made time for myself. If it's not every month, it's once in every 2 months. I go for my walks. I'm not regular with my walks, but I know that when I do walk, it varies from 30 minutes to an hour, you know, but that's all time that I give to myself so that I can fill my cup. I just wrote a post the other day about giving. You know, we give so much to others, and all our faiths talk about giving and sharing, and you know, how much is how much,
And
because we tend to also forget about ourselves in the process.
absolutely. And we can't really give back to others if our cup is empty, right? We need to fill our own cup.
Yeah. And
So,
particularly us women, you know, we
yes.
give so much. We give to our husbands, we give to our in-laws, we give to our children, and nothing wrong with that. But remember who's doing that.
Right, right. You know, Maya, I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for chatting to me today, and to those listening. I'm sure you have inspired someone to try this practice out for themselves and just to see if it makes a difference. So, you know, let me know in the comments if you found this information useful, helpful. Let me know if you danced along to the demo and how it felt afterwards. You know, I will put Maya's details in the comments. And if you'd like to join the next class or connect with Maya in her other practices as well. So those who are listening, well, first of all, thank you, Maya.
Oh, thank you, Wedaad. This is so exciting. It felt so good to share my passion, and thank you for having me. I love opportunities like this because, you know, I love to share that we matter, that we each matter. So don't forget yourselves. I think that is important. You know, we don't wait until there's a disease, or if there's a body ache or whatever. You know, really give to yourself so that you can give to others. And that I'm very, very passionate about, because I've seen it around me all the time, where people give, and just not give to themselves. So again, thank you for this opportunity. And yeah, I know you've been doing wonders with your health coaching. I think it's important for us to take into cognizance of what we feed our bodies, and also how we feed our bodies, you know. That is part of self-care.
Yes, definitely. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
So
That's what I'm
eating,
so.
I remember you saying to me as well when I did the course, you know, if you eat a piece of cake, but you know where your limits are, but also don't feel guilty about it. You
Yes.
know. But
Awesome.
yeah, be cautious. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And
Um,
I hope that you all try this out.
Thank you, Maya, for your time. And to those who are listening and watching, you know, thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Bye. Bye.
Just stop.